Action. Hi, my name is Katelyn Smith and I just wanted to come on here and talk about my journey leading up to the 2024 IFCPF World Cup. So my journey started, I would say, about 3 months before. I kept going to the doctor and saying that I wasn't well, there was something wrong with me, I didn't feel right, and on a weekly visit was dismissed. I had every blood test, everything was coming back normal and really being dismissed. And then we fast forward a little bit. 6 weeks before the World Cup, I attended CP Nationals in Canberra 6 weeks before the World Cup, and I came home on the Sunday night and realised that I had extended stomach and something that just wasn't normal. So I took myself to the doctor and she sent me for a ultrasound, and I had a 13 by 17 metre cyst in my left ovary. And of course I found this out on the Thursday. I had to fly out to back to Canberra on the Thursday afternoon for a training camp, which I couldn't miss because it was our selection camp for the World Cup. So I attended that training camp, probably not in the best headspace. Obviously had a lot of things going off medically, didn't even know if I could make the World Cup in 6 years' time, because realistically it's a big 20-week-old baby cyst sitting in there, which had to be removed. So I came back, flew back from camp 3 days later and went straight to the ER because I was like, I need to get this sorted. I don't have time to wait for a gynecologist to see me. So I presented myself to the ER and told them what was going on, and a week later I had emergency abdominal surgery. So I was cut from hip to hip to remove this ovarian cyst because I had two options: remove it or potentially die if it burst, because it was really, really big. So I had that removed 5.5 weeks before the World Cup. Was given a 6-week period where I was told no sport, no gym, no exercise, no nothing, just recover. I lasted 5 days out of the gym before I headed back in. I think for me, those 6 weeks leading up was very mentally tough. Knowing that you weren't going into a World Cup in the best possible shape you could be, not having trained properly for 3 months because of this issue. And I think for me, I had a lot of, which I'm grateful for, I had a lot of support from friends. The Football Australia coaches were really good in supporting me in a role. Obviously being captain as well, I felt like I was letting down the girls as well, not being able to perform my best, and or knowing that they had trained really hard from the camp to the World Cup, and I felt like I wasn't doing my fair share, which took a little bit of a mental toll on me in those 6 weeks. It was very hard. The first week, especially after surgery, the amount of pain I was in, couldn't even walk. So I'm lucky I had them to go back to every day. I had messages from them just checking in on how I am. 3 weeks after surgery, I flew back to Canberra to check in with the coach, which was really good as well. I was in Sydney for an event, so I just went and seen support staff over there so they could get an idea of where I was at. I got cleared 3.5 weeks after surgery. I was cleared a little bit earlier, but my body tends to heal a little bit faster, which is good. But it's just that initial 2 weeks of just getting over it all and getting back into it. And then we went into pre-departure camp. I hadn't trained properly for a little while. So I had a really big session on the first day and had a really sore back the next day. So that was a little bit of another challenge. And then being an elite athlete, no one likes flying 36 hours to a destination. That takes a mental toll itself, just the time difference, the custom to different foods and different environment, and obviously your sleep schedule's off, which is very important for athletes. So I think just having a great support staff around me was really good. All these challenges led to the World Cup, and being there for the team was also a great privilege. And then all this mental toughness and resilience that I had built up was really good over the last 2 years, and to get through that period and then make the grand final and then ultimately go on to win the grand final because I stuck to it, and I had a great support around me who actually believed that I could do it when I didn't have that belief. And I think as an athlete, it's important to have those support people around you, and I think it's as much as sometimes we don't believe in ourselves, I think it's really good that we do take on board what other people say, and people don't say things because they want to say it, they actually mean it, and they're your best support people to have around. So you don't have to have many friends. I don't have many friends, but the friends I do have around and the support system I do have around me is exactly why we live day to day and why I strive to be the best that I can possibly be.